Southside 457.
Did you know that the Southside on Lamar is a National Historic Building?
This building tells a story.
I need a story to connect to with my heart.
There are so many stories in this building.
I wanted to teach other people how to naturally love themselves, and so I ventured into the field of opening my own spot.
There are people in this building with a passion to share what they know.
When I share my knowledge and my skills and my gift, I'm serving my purpose.
Preachers, teachers, architects, attorneys, engineers, artists of all kinds in this building.
What makes this place tick to me and makes it exciting is the combination of so many different kinds of people.
It's like a melting pot.
It's like a melting pot.
15 years, I've never regretted being here at Southside.
Welcome to the Southside 457 podcast. I'm your host, Walter Johnson Jr. Let's get it on. You can't miss the princess.
Listen, Linda, listen.
Southside 457.
Welcome to the Southside 457 podcast. I'm your host, Walter Johnson Jr. And today we have another special guest, Tileys Kerr. She is the owner and founder of Beautiful Beginners Christian Academy on the campus of St. Philip's in South Dallas, sunny Southside. Welcome to the show, Mrs. Tileys Kerr. And we call you Miss Tiley.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. I am amazing, actually.
Okay. So
It's good to be here.
Oh, good to have you here. So one of the things that I ask every guest is you don't just come to this building. You have to be invited here.
Yeah.
Or you just don't bump into it. So tell me your first time in the building. Tell me how you got here and your thoughts.
Okay, so now is my first time. This moment, this minute, and it's epic for me. And before you walked out there to meet me, I was taking in every second of the arts, the peace, the serenity, the comfort, the story. It was just a lot that came to me in a space of a few seconds or minutes. And how did I get here? You made it happen. So like you said, you don't just walk in here. So for me, it's a privilege. And I want you to know I do not take it for granted. Especially because I didn't know what it was. I had no clue what it was. But just a word from you just put me on that space, in that same space that made me know, okay, I was on safe grounds. And here I am, man, to talk about my vibey. Is that okay? So I'm a part of your family on an extended level because I take care of your child.
Yeah.
And he's also part of the reason we're here today.
Yeah.
He's actually the real reason. Without vibe,
Yeah.
there is no vibing.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for that.
You see what she did there? Without vibe, there's no vibing. I heard that. Mm-hmm. So how did you end up in South Dallas? You come from, I can't think of the city you told me, but it's in Nigeria. Mm-hmm. So tell us your story from Nigeria to Beautiful Beginners.
Okay.
In South Dallas.
In not too long words. So I'm from Nigeria, proudly so. And I come from a family of 5. I have 4 brothers, and I'm an only girl. I grew
Makes sense. It makes sense now. That's why he's so tough.
Oh yes. Yes.
Tough and rough with long fingernails.
Well, the fingernails are more for my babies. So,
Okay.
It's an excitement for them. But I come from a very tight-knitted family. My parents are late now. They are entrepreneurs, philanthropists, and in the later part of their lives are attorneys. Both of them were attorneys. They went to school at 60s. Well, went to the law school at 60 plus after
wow.
so many years.
60 years becoming an attorney.
65, 66, thereabout.
That's the
becoming an
power of
attorney.
keep on dreaming, right?
Absolutely. This is after a whole bunch of degrees behind, who they are and being a business owners and building businesses. Anyway, that's who I am. I schooled in Nigeria as well, Abuja to be precise. My first degree was in computer statistics. So, sometimes people ask me, how did you get here? So there's nothing about my educational background that actually ties into being, I call myself a babysitter and very proud one. I'm the best baby mama you can find in town. I love my kids. Just to say a little bit, and I got married, and that's how I transitioned to the U.S. So, like I said, my first degree was in computer statistics. I have my business degrees as well. And then I got here, I went to medical claims and billing school. U.S. Career Institute. I went to business school as well here. But all of that, all I wanted to be was this amazing baby mama to be a part of. So this is a ministry for me. Called, chosen, handpicked, loving it. This is my passion. This is my ministry. Being a voice and a lover to my babies. And still being able to, whether you like it or not, being a part of your family. I just love what I do. I can't explain how I feel. It's my peaceful place, because really when you think about it, it's easier to deal with children, period, than adults, because they're innocent. They're without blame. They're not malicious. They don't hold grudges. They're just as pure as they come. And that's the kind of person I am. That's the kind of life I love. We're not gonna beef. We can fight this minute and the next minute we're huggy-dubby and all of that. So I've been in childcare now for 18 years. 19 years, yes. But I've been on the campus of St. Philip's for 10 years.
10 years.
Yes. So I started from Friendship West.
Okay.
I was working at their childcare facility, Pastor Frederick Hines, back then. So that was where I was. And then I went back home and started a childcare home. In my home in DeSoto.
At home.
So I had babies at my home that I cared for, and I had staff as well in there. And then came my state rep saying, hey, I think you got something great going in here. We love the way you have the setup. And she encouraged me, and so I moved into a center in DeSoto, and I was there, and I call my babies. So when I say my babies, I'm talking about my babies, So when my babies will graduate from, I pride myself, we do graduations and we don't do it on a small scale because, like you said, beautiful beginners. It's a beautiful beginning. We are the beautiful beginners. So every milestone is major for a child. It sets the tone for their future. So when you celebrate, when they potty, or when they move from pull-ups to diapers, from diapers to pull-ups and to underwear, it's worth celebrating. When they take their first steps, when they have the first words, whatever a child does, how you celebrate them and reward them and affirm them sets a major, major, major tone to what their future is going to look like and to how they feel about themselves. Self-confidence is, you can buy it and you can build it. It's already in there. You just have to pull it out. So, and so when my babies will graduate and will refer them to St. Philip's, some of my staff back in DeSoto had kids in St. Philip's. So I knew about St. Philip's and the greatness of St. Philip's. I was infatuated actually by St. Philip's. So it was a goal of mine to, when at that time, when I had kids, I had always wanted my babies to be a part of St. Philip's. And so that was my number one recommendation. As a matter of fact, back then in DeSoto, I will get St. Philip's curriculum and use it to teach my 2 and 3-year-old kids in my daycare. That was how much greatness I could see in St. Philip's, not knowing that God was, outlining my path. And so when we will send babies over there, my babies, 2 and 3-year-old, were testing much higher, St. Philip's reached out and said, hey, we love what you're doing. We love your program. And
when you say St. Philip's, you mean Dr. Flowers?
Dr. Flowers.
He's the one that's reaching.
He is St. Philip's. When you think about it, as far as I'm concerned, because that's who I met, that's who I've known, and the entire team, Miss Kelly and, Miss Wesson, and it was some people. And
so that's the issue when we start mentioning names. You're like, oh, you got to go down the whole list. Yes, you don't want to leave anybody out.
Yes, exactly.
That's why when people accept awards, they just say mom and daddy.
Lord, mom and dad and God.
Mom and and God, mom and daddy.
Because you don't want to miss it. You didn't call my name.
And sometimes they don't call daddy. It's just God and mama.
Exactly. Well, but anyway, and so that was how I started with St. Philip's.
So he called you. Dr. Flowers called you.
Actually, it was at that time, it was the director of early childhood, Miss Young, at that time, reached out to me. Yes. Her babies were my babies. I raised her babies as well. So I've been around town for a minute. I
have 2 older boys. You met?
Yes, I met them. Yes.
And they both have gone to St. Philip's.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I think I saw your podcast with Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but definitely we, she reached out, and I was not sure I was ready to take up the big task at that time, because my center in DeSoto was, my motto is a home away from home, and incorporating God into the school's curriculum. I hate to say that because they're babies, a lot of people don't understand that the core is actually starting young, be it instilling God, instilling success, in put whatever you want to put in your child, in the children. It's starting early, So my focus, being my ministry, was that I wanted to put God into the school's curriculum. So I'll always tell the parent, remember when I first spoke with you, if it's not about God, it's not a place for you, because my babies will come home praying with you, praying for you, talking about the books of the Bible, still being top of their class and still being the best they can be in behavior, in structure. You know what they say? A broken leg is worse than a broken spirit. And that's what I don't want. I don't want my babies to have a broken spirit. So I accepted and I moved into St. Philip's, the premise. And it's I want to say we've been going. It's been a very, 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 I can't find the words. It's been an amazing journey, simply put. It doesn't even justify it. It's been an amazing journey. We've graduated in 10 years, 10 sets of graduates. The last one was 26 kids from my center.
How many kids do you have in your center?
In my center, 35 licensed. Now, I do have kids who come. I don't do a lot of drop-ins, but I do have kids who come in and out and all of that. And every child in my center was referred by somebody. So it's truly a home setting. It's truly what St. Philip calls the village.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody, when I found out that I had a connection of about 5-6 cousins, and Tiley is the mom to all these children. It is an amazing blessing. I do not take it for granted. I don't even know how to feel about it. So
take us through that process of being a computer
Statistics.
you know, studying the computers, going to do medical billing. To what was the process and that transition to like, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm just gonna go teach these children and just this is what I'm gonna like. What was that process like? Because
Well,
yeah.
like I told you, you can imagine my aged parents were went to law school at 60 plus, and my dad graduated top of his class. And so that meaning I come from a background of academics. It's all about the degrees. You've got to get the education. It's no ifs and buts. You have to have it standard. And so that was, and I'm a math major, and so why waste the brain? So I was also encouraged by my parents to get the best of everything that I could get as far as the academics is concerned. And that was exactly what I was doing. And so, but my mom used to tell me, even as a child, when we'll go to church, I never wanted to stay with them. I always wanted to go to the children's church. So you see, there is one thing when you have a lifelong academic career and path. It's another thing when you have a ministry. Like arts, ministry.
Yeah.
So you've just got to know where to make the two meet. So my academics, the medical claims and billing, the business degree, the statistics, all of it is still coming to play in my ministry of being a child care, early childhood provider. It's a preschool Christian academy. So I get them ready. I get the core foundation potty training. You'll be amazed that some things that are just difficult for parents comes easy to. I have parents calling me at 10:30, 11, either because babies can't sleep or they're crying. Miss Tiley, what's wrong? Why is she crying? And I'm like, just put me on speaker and we just talk. Half of what they're saying, really, I don't understand. But we're blabbing. But they just feel validated. And children, I believe, are spirits. So they sense your fear. They sense your anxiety. They sense your frustration. So it's always important that you step out of that space you're in and give them a breather. And I tell my parents, look, I'm always going to be here for you. There is no closing time and opening time for me when it comes to my kids. So how did I step away? I didn't step away. I continued living in the same realm of academics and incorporating God, incorporating my mission, my vision, my passion, my ministry, my calling.
So you left
Nigeria based on marriage.
Yeah. So you left Nigeria based on marriage, but you left the business world for the ministry.
Yeah.
So why was that important? And yeah.
Why?
Because some people, they find their worth from titles and jobs and going up the ladder and just checking off all these boxes of success and holding their head high, and
Well, guess what? I'm going up the ladder.
yeah.
And nobody higher than me right now.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Christ in me, the hope of glory. And you know what? Someday when vibe becomes the precedent, how high a ladder can I get to when he mentions my name? Those are the kind of ladders I love to climb. And truth be told, there are a few core values my parents instilled in us. Whatever you do today, you're sowing the seed for your children. So the good you do today is really not for you. And I promise you, over the last 18 years, I've experienced that day in, day out. Wherever I go, I walk into Walmart. Do you know how excited? I'm bigger than Beyonce on some levels. I'm just saying. You know, even when I walk into St. Philip's during chapel, I have parents who would want to walk with me and will say, Tilly, I'm not going to walk with you because you're going to be greeting everybody in the hallway. Because I have to. Because these are my babies. Because I'm known for a good. I'm known to be that part of their family that is key. And I'm excited about it, you know. So it wasn't difficult, if you understand what I'm saying. It was more so exciting. You know, sometimes even when I'm not feeling well and I don't want to go to work, my husband will say, you need to take a break. I feel like if I sat at home, I'll be sicker.
Yeah.
So I want to just, not when I'm sick with something, you know, maybe
I
I'm having a
understand.
migraine.
I understand. Just when you feel like you need a
There
break,
is, yeah.
you push past it. Is what
Yeah,
you're
I push
saying.
past it. And it's not really pushing past it. I look forward to being around them because being around my babies is, it's just peaceful for me. You see me, you've seen me.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I'm constantly on the move. They keep me young. They keep me young. They keep my staff young. I have the most amazing staff members anybody can ever. It's almost like God gave them right from heaven to me. So when in childcare, in teaching, in education, it is very tough to find people who have the same core values as you do. It's very difficult to look past the money
Yeah.
because the truth is you do have bills.
Yeah.
The bills are not going to pay themselves.
Yeah.
But to put all of that, like I tell my parents, there is no price tag on. I can't say poop, right? On number two, number one. I mean, I'm in childcare. Okay, so you know, on number two, number one, on throw ups, on you've got to be able to know when a child is crying for pain or for joy.
That's funny. I never thought of it that way. There's no price for. I'm gonna charge you, $50 every time I have to change his diaper.
Exactly.
And if he throws up, that's gonna be $150. And if I have to change his clothes
God.
because he spilled oranges
Oh,
on
Jesus,
it,
no.
or if he bites somebody else, then that's $100 bite.
Do you know what? We're
day.
cashing in. At this point, we're cashing in. We're going home with a whole case of it. So, yeah, there is no price tag. And being able to know the difference when a child is crying, and I'm just crying not because I'm hurting, I'm just crying because you haven't paid attention to me in 2 seconds. So I just want to scream. So I look at you and just, like, again, validation. And I say, hey, I see you, Vibey. Oh, Lord, Vibey, I'm so sorry. It's all your name. I see you, and I'm talking to you. And all you have to do is just let me know you're there. So there is no price on those things. It's got to come pure. You have to have it. It's either you have it or you don't.
Yeah. So with moving forward to like what's going on in the community around South Dallas, do you personally have any investments or anything? Are you a part of other than what you're part of now at the daycare in your Christian Academy school? What are your thoughts about the transition that's happening?
So you said, am I part of it? Being in it makes me a part of it.
Well, that's why I changed it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And again, it's always going to be a privilege. So of course I do accept the CCA. That's part of giving back to the community.
Explain that what CCA is, because not everybody understands.
Yeah, child care assistance. It's an assistant program through the government. I won't speak too much for them.
Gotcha.
But it's for families of low income as well. So they're able to have education or child care, and parents, young, old, single, and all of it, are able to actually go to work and provide for their families. Now, that's on a larger scale. Now, personally, yes, and you're going to be the first platform or anybody that I'm talking to about this is one of the things that I am working on right now in the community, for the community, by the community, is a charity event program for orphans. I have a passion, a calling, a desperation. I don't feel like I'm saving them, but I feel like I want them to know their sin, where you could actually either sponsor a couple of kids, whatever, however, with food, with education, and not just education, but the good, as much as best as you can have it. So again, that's something I'm looking at, that for children and also for young mothers, who are single, young teenage mothers. So that's a project I'm working on right now,
Right
and
on.
so I'm speaking out on it for the first time right now. So and I look forward to it. Of course, being on St. Philip's campus is major, and as they grow, I grow. I do not know as of right now where the journey is leading to, but
Yeah.
definitely,
You're there for the ride.
yes,
Yeah.
all the way, all the way.
So I guess what's next for where you're going, and what would you like to see at St. Philip's and with your school?
So with St. Philip's, again, like you said, I'm here for the ride all the way. It's, a bishop would say, it's good grounds
Yeah.
and it's a great soil. So
Explain what that means for people that don't understand.
it's good grounds. St. Philip's, it's beautiful beginners is a great foundation. And St. Philip's, it's great grounds to continue to foster and grow.
Okay, so I understand what good ground means,
Mm-hmm.
but explain what that actually means. Like when you say good ground, what does that mean to somebody? Like, what's
It
he
means-
talking about?
Okay, I try not to go all spiritual. So the Bible says,
Go where you need to go.
Okay, so the Bible says that if the foundation be shaken, what then shall the righteous do? And so when I say good ground, St. Philip's is foundation. And when you have your child, so when you say, where do we go from here? Give it beautiful beginners, give it St. Philip's. Of course, beautiful beginners, we take care of infants, newborn up to 3 years, giving them the basic foundation where they transition onto pre-K programs and all of that. So the good grounds I'm talking about is giving good foundation. So that's what I'm really speaking on. And if your child does not have the good foundation, you have a problem. You can't build a house on a bad ground.
Gotcha.
It's gonna come crashing.
So is there anything that I didn't ask you that you want to share?
What can I think about? I think as far as childcare is concerned, as far as children is concerned, it's important that parents know. One thing that is missing in childcare these days is trust. It's because of the, what do you call it, the track records, the negative, and it's so one of the things that I'm hoping. No, I'm not hoping. I think I have that already. As far as my childcare is concerned, my program is concerned. Now, of course, is to be able to know that trust God first and go with your guts. If you walk into the place, if you don't feel right, it ain't right.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you that. If you walk in as a mother, as a father, if it does not feel right, it's not right. Let it go. So I'm every day I'm grateful for a supportive husband. I have two beautiful kids myself, twins, and they teach me every day, what I need to know, how I can be better. Because you think you know it all just because I'm such an amazing caregiver or teacher does not mean that I know all that I need to do about my own children.
What's some of the challenges that you've had with your own?
I think it's doing their homeworks with them.
Because you feel like you've done it all day, huh?
Do you understand? No, that's not why.
Why?
Because I have them all day and I enjoy, oh my God, you have no idea. I love my babies so much. But I think it's just, I have more patience, so much more patience with my babies at the daycare. And then, so when I get home, I struggle with putting my kids on a pedestal of much higher expectation on some things.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I expect you to be the best behaved,
Yeah.
academically sound, top of the class, have God and know God as I'm teaching it to you. Yes. I will always, because again, that was how I was raised. You're always going to be expected to be 2 steps ahead of everything and everyone. So I think that's one of my biggest challenge. And I have to pull myself back sometimes.
Make sure you sprinkle a little bit of that on Vibe.
He has it in him already. He does have it in there. So that's probably going to be one of my biggest thing as a parent challenge. Now, of course, I do also have. I think one thing that a lot of people don't understand or miss out is, no matter how amazing a parent you are, parents need a break. They do. They do. It's a lot, caregiving, loving, working, and doing all of that. So they do. And one of the things that I also have in place is called 24/7 childcare. And no, I'm not working 24/7. It's just about where I want to give opportunities to couples, to individuals, to have a life outside home. So if you were looking to have a childcare, somebody to watch your kid when you go for a date night or when you go for a happy hour or whatever you want to go for, we wear the body cameras and we'll go into your home and, certified individuals, so that's something that, I also try to, my life is just all about the children and family. I can't see myself being someone else. I just can't.
Okay, well, wrapping it on up. So is there anything else? Okay, you know what? Look at this camera and just tell people where they can find you, how they can reach you. If they want to check out your daycare and the school, it's the best time to do that. Just give them the instructions and the directions they need to reach out to you.
Okay. So first, I'd like you to, okay, so again, everybody calls me Tiley. And let me tell you a little bit.
Tilly.
Ley.
Ley.
Yeah.
My bad.
Now, one of my parents actually made that name up and it stuck because my full name is Olatilewa and it was too long. And so Erica Thomas, she said, Tiley, that's the name we're going to give you. And it stuck. And even with the state, they will pull my full name, my legal name, and put that name in bracket. But anyway, it's Beautiful Beginners Christian Academy. And it's all about incorporating God into the school's curriculum. We take care of babies newborn up to age 2, 3, before the pre-K classes. And also we are on the campus of St. Philip's, the amazing St. Philip's Community School, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in Dallas. Sunny side of Dallas, you called it.
Yeah, sunny Southside.
Absolutely. Where the miracles happen, where the best happen. There's a saying, out of the black pot comes the white food. out of the cooking. You know, when you cook with a black pot, the best food still comes out of that. And that's what
Yeah.
Sunny Side of Dallas is about. That's what St. Phillips is about. So that's where I am. I would like you to go on our Facebook page, Beautiful Beginners Christian Academy. You can look at pictures, you can see comments, you can make comments and all of that. And you can also reach out to me on 972-217-0957. 972-217-0957.
Uh-oh. You sure you want to give that phone number out? You, I don't, okay.
Well,
If that's the number you give, that's the number you give.
yeah, it's about the community. So let's
Gotcha.
do it.
Okay.
Again, please know when I'm at work. You can call me between the hours of 12 and 2.
Or text, right?
Text. Actually, text will be much better.
Yes.
Text me, and please put the word. This is going to be the code word that's going to get you into Beautiful Beginners. Put it
Southside.
Southside podcast. And that would definitely make me know that this is where you're from, and I have opened myself up to you. So, again, and then after we talk, we can move on from there.
Okay, so one thing before we get off. I want you to just speak on this and your thoughts about it. You don't have to go long, or you can go long, whatever. But Pastor Chris Simmons, he says we have to. He said this when I recorded him, interviewed him on the podcast. He said, if we prepare the kids today, we won't have to repair them tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Speak on that, and then we're going to close.
Oh, wow. That's deep.
It is. And it just sticks, and I've been telling everybody.
It
I've been
sticks.
telling everybody. I told Vibe that. No, go
It's
ahead.
the same thing as saying, if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. If you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. If that's pretty deep. You don't fix what's not broken. So that's why if you fix them now, what was the word?
Prepare.
If you prepare them now, you won't have to fix them later. And it's funny how everything we're talking about ties into each other.
Because that's what you were talking about. You're saying putting it into them early.
Do you understand? I was just about to say, okay, I'm trying not to just go into a spiritual fit.
Go into a
I
spirit.
promise you, everything, if it's not about God, it's not about me. I will say that. I profess it. I confess it. Everything we have said today ties and goes back into the same ring. I talked about the good soil. I talked about this foundation. And I talked about if you don't give them the right upbringing, if you don't start them well. And that's the same thing Pastor Simon is saying to you, that if you do not prepare them, that you cannot build a house on a shaky foundation. But if you dig right and you remove the stumps and you remove the rocks and you level the ground, when you lay the bricks down, it's gonna sit right. That's all he's saying. That's what I took from what you just said.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you
I
so much
appreciate
for
it.
having me.
2 hands for ladies. There we go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me here. And don't forget, for you too,
Okay.
arts.
Thank you for listening. Everybody go check her out. Give her a shout if you want her to see your, go check out the school and take your babies over there, because she is the #1 baby mama in South Dallas, okay?
Amen.
All right, she's the #1 baby mama in South Dallas, okay? If you need a baby mama, here she goes, right here.
Yes.
Bring your babies over there. And until next time, peace. I said peace, peace.
Southside 457.